good, man? Hit that thumbs up. So, seen like the clips of the Oscars last night. First of all, the Oscars is prime WPS, white people ish. We already know. No, I did not tune in. I've never tuned in and watched an entire Oscars ever. You know what I'm saying? Jimmy Kimmel, I like Jimmy Kimmel. He hosted it. There was no slapping incidents. But the everyone's talking about it. Angela Bassett. And look, Wakanda Forever wasn't my kind of film. I have a hard time trying to watch films that I feel like have a lot of propaganda in it, and it feels forced. And I was trying to watch it even the other night, and I'm just like, man, I can't get into this. Halfway through it, I was disinterested. Nothing against Angela, but I just couldn't get into it, man. I couldn't, honest to God. And one thing I said, and I said this a few weeks ago on this channel, if there's anything good about this film, look, kids love it. If some people enjoy it, that's fine. I'm not here to tell y'all how to feel about a film. The one good thing was Angela was going to get her flowers out of this. And I made the comparison before to Angela Bassett to Nas, how she should have been awarded for What's Love Got to Do with It. That came out in 1993. Nas came out with Illmatic in 1994. Both should have been validated for that great pieces of work that they put out back in those days. Nas didn't get a Grammy until King's Disease, almost 30 years later. Solid, good album, but it wasn't Illmatic. It was almost like they were trying to make up for the fact that they didn't give him something for that album. And Angela, all these great roles all these years later, if it was anything good that was going to come out of this, I thought it would have been that. And nope, they gave it to... Let's look at the whole setup. She's there. She looks amazing. Hottest 60-something-year-old woman you'll ever see. And she's sitting there. They got Rihanna out there performing, pregnant as ever after the Super Bowl thing. They got her singing the whole soundtrack theme song, Lift Me Up. And they did all of that. And you just know, okay, they're going to give Angela her moment. What's the point of having all of this if you're not? Nope. Classic Oscar snub. Gave it to Jamie Lee Curtis. And at first, I'm like, hold up. I like Jamie Lee Curtis. I'm a Halloween fan. By the way, look at my Halloween Ends review on here on this channel. But I was like, there's no way she won for that movie. That movie was garbage. No, it was some other superhero comedy film. I'm like, are you... And speaking of that, the last time I could recall an actor winning an award for a superhero film was Heath Ledger as the Joker in The Dark Knight. That's like 15 years ago. I could be wrong, but they don't usually give actors awards for those kind of films. A lot of these snubby, high, critics, they look down on certain movies. They usually look down on horror films. They look down on comedies. They look down on superhero films. Those are the hardest films to get acknowledged from because people just look down on them. They're silly movies. And they gave Jamie Lee Curtis that. And you could just see the reaction on Angela's face. I was like, damn. Couldn't help but feel bad for her. And meanwhile, Denzel and Spike Lee is at the Laker game watching them screw it up. They having fun watching the Lakers down the street, playing ball with no care in the world. And Angela sitting there looking like, really? Y'all did this to me? Y'all had her come out there. And then Woman King was another one that came out. And I talked about that too. That's like a real historical thing that happened with the woman army and all of that. I did a whole video on that. My mind's kind of brain fried right now. But Viola Davis, that came out in September last year. The Woman King, it actually came out on my birthday. I think it got overshadowed by Wakanda Forever because it seems so similar as far as storylines and just visual. Very similar. I mean, hell, I think one of the girls from Wakanda Forever was in Woman King. And some Oscar voter anonymously the other day said Viola Davis needs to shut up. Kind of like when that lady Megyn Kelly told LeBron, you need to shut up and dribble. He told her she need to shut up, her and the lady director, and stop complaining. I'm like, wow. You know what I mean? These are supposed to be prime girl, black power, black girl magic films. And the Oscars did not give a damn about that. They did not care. And Viola Davis is another one who I believe is an extremely great, talented actress, let alone a black actress, who's well overdue for an Oscar. But once again, same thing with that. That film didn't move me like that either. So, I mean, I can't sit there and say she was screwed, but it's hard to say she wasn't when you see some of these movies, some of these actors won over her and Angela and other people. I'm like, yo, y'all be giving people awards for some of the stupidest movies they've ever done. Dumb stuff. You know, and then y'all sit here and toy with the few black people that actually show up. You know, because that was the only viral moment of the night, was that reaction of Angela versus Jamie Lee Curtis. Nobody got slapped. Nobody had no crazy performance. That was it. So, yeah. Shout out to them. Viola. Hopefully one day she'll get her flowers also. And Angela, yeah, that's very discouraging, because you're like, damn, are they going to give her the Cicely Tyson treatment? Because I don't think she ever won anything either. And that woman was acting for decades. You know, and so is Angela. But that woman was 80-something years old and never won any. I'm like, yo, damn, can somebody get their flowers? I know people always say, well, Denzel had to be a cop. Denzel was incredible in Training Day, nigga. Incredible. You know what I mean? Halle Berry winning for Monsters Ball, that was a little different. I don't remember nothing about that movie other than the obvious. But yeah, Angela Bassett, hold your head. Oscars, I honestly, I wish black actors would stop coming to this stuff. I love the fact that Denzel, granted, he ain't really been in nothing lately crazy like that, but I love the fact that he was just no care in the world. I'm kicking it at the game with Spike. I don't care about that. You know what I'm saying? I think we need to start. But then when you look at how jokey our award shows have become, look at the BET Awards, the Image Awards, our award shows have become such a joke, filled with so much propaganda and agenda. It's like you can't win anywhere. I mean, hell, BET hosted the NAACP Awards. They gave the dude who played Uncle Cliff from P-Valley an award for Best Actor. Let that sink in. You know what I'm saying? Do you know who that is? So it's like, even if we want to say, well, boycott the Oscars, let's just do our own stuff. Our own award shows have been contaminated with filth and nonsense lately. So I guess we just got to watch these movies and accept it for what they are and stop looking for validation. That's all I got to say about that. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Like, share, subscribe.